Well, hello everybody. It is break time with Pastor V. Sorry about this. I have my mask hooked onto my headset. Just running in today. How are you? Man, it really is Christmas time. It's hard to believe unless you're on the East Coast and you got snow and everything. Maybe that kind of helps. But here it's a little cool, but not cold. And I was talking to someone else this morning about it, and it just seems like this whole year has been such a blur, right? There haven't been any real demarcations of time. For instance, many of us didn't do vacations, didn't hang out at the beach because we couldn't hang out. So it's just made the year just this blur. But you know what? We are here, and we are here to celebrate the Savior's coming to bring peace and salvation to the world, to us. And we thank God for that. So I am glad you're here. I am Pastor V. Thank you for joining in. I see a few of you already. Belinda, Daryl, Shannon. Thank you. Thank you for being here. God has been good. Don't forget to say hello and let us know where you are listening from. And you know what? Had this thought, and I often kind of wonder, how did we get here as a society, right? Where quote unquote real Christians aren't really involved, or the quote unquote conservative Christians are not involved in the social ills of the world to the extent that I believe that God would have them be involved in. So I was reading, I picked up this, let me show you this daily devotional Bible for men. I don't even know if they still make this. I've had this forever. It seems like, in fact, Roz gave it to me before Alyssa was born. So it was December. Got it for Christmas, 1993, as a gift. And I've gone through it. But today I was looking at it, and I came across this devotion I want to share with you, because I believe one of the reasons that we are where we are is because in Christianity per se, we took the road of Christians surely shouldn't be involved in politics. True Christians shouldn't be involved in the arts. True Christians shouldn't be involved in so many things because we live this quote unquote Christianese, this Christian life. And those things were in the world, whether it was music, the arts, politics. We had these boundaries, right? And I think because we had those boundaries, we lost influence. We lost the ability to influence and to share what God has for us. And God calls us to be involved in every area of life. Well, I'm not telling you. Okay, my mind's like, somebody could say, one of my friends could say, so God's calling us to be strippers. No, God's not calling you to be a stripper. Come on now, just be real. But most areas God does have an involvement for us to be in, so that we can influence the world. And this devotion I want to share with you is called Love Thy Neighbor. And I got a question for you once we're towards the end. And he wrote this. It's by, the author's name was John B. Anderson. And he wrote, I wonder how many Christians reading these pages have ever held political office, even as a precinct committeeman. If Christians leave opportunities for participation open and unfilled, the void will be filled by those who do not necessarily share similar ethical concern. We must be careful not to lose by default what could be won with some additional effort on our part. And I believe that's what's happened. We've lost by default by not being involved. And then he goes on to write, he says, the average American today suffers no twinge of consciousness when he passes a sick man on the road. He knows he has paid the Good Samaritan to come along after him and take care of his rather unpleasant social obligation. But the import of Christ's teaching is very plain. He expects us to take the role of the Good Samaritan and not delegate our Christian love and compassion and concern in every instance to a paid professional or a perfunctionary. We are enjoined to love our neighbor, not just pay taxes to employ someone else to love our neighbor. I believe the largest part of the problem is the inability of the average member of an affluent suburban church to feel much real empathy for the problems of the inner city world so remote from his existence. I'm afraid that there are a great many modern Christians who, if the Lord suddenly returned and they found him dining with the publicans and sinners who infest the big city slums, would recoil with the same fastidious horror displayed by the Pharisees and Sadducees 2,000 years ago. The Church of Jesus Christ ought to play a part in rallying Christians to the social action. Indeed, it is only as we play this kind of role that we'll get the type of society that we as Christians would like to see. The church can and should encourage social economic change. And so we've got to be involved in those things. And so I want to encourage you. I know it's Christmas time, but I have a question for you. What are you doing anything now? Or what could you do to be involved to display the love of Christ to a hurting and dying world? And that's really, I want you to think about that. What am I doing? What active role do I have in being involved? See, we often think the church, right, should do this and do that. But the issue is the church is made up of us. It's made up of people. And so the organization can only do what the people do. And so my question is, what are you as an individual doing to contribute to society, or to contribute and show God's love to society? And it's not okay. But if you aren't doing anything, it's okay to recognize that. And then the question becomes, what can I do? So what are you doing? And if you aren't, what could you do? And let's chat about it. In fact, if you're doing something already, go ahead and put it in the chat. This is what I'm doing. And if there's something you would like to do, but you may not have a platform, or you may need some support to do that, put this in our chat, or in the comment section. I would like to. And let's figure out a way that we could give you a platform or support you in doing ministry. How about that? Right? So I'm going to take away the excuse, not that you can't or that you don't have the support. We're going to find the way to give you the support to do it. Amen? So whatever God's been calling you, you probably have a passion that's deep inside of you, and you've just been afraid to do it. It's time. You know what? 2021 is a year of change, I believe. Be willing to step out and be courageous and do it different. Here's a great thing. Because of 2020, we don't have to do church anything like we've ever done it before. That's a great thing. Because it doesn't exist anymore the way it did. So my brother, my sister, thank you for spending break time with Pastor V. I appreciate you, and I sure do hope you put something in that chat of what you would like to do. I see Sister June and Charles, what you would like to do or what you are doing. I would love to know about what you're doing. How can we support that? There may be ministries we don't know about. So God bless you. And listen, tomorrow, 2 o'clock, from 2 to 4, we are giving away food, but we also are giving away toys. And let me show you how God works. We've been soliciting for toys, and the money's been coming in. And then way back in October, I think it was, we applied for Toys for Tot. And just today, I got a call, says, "Is this Vince Holmes?" Yes. And he said, "Hey, you've been selected as your church of receiving Toys for Tot. Be here at 4 o'clock to pick them up." And so we have those as well. So it's just a blessing to be able to give to the community. Our community is in great need, but you know what? God has the resources to do it, to meet the need. I wanted to do more than we've ever done, and look at God. He's given us more than we could even handle, so we thank God for it. We have boxes of food that have become available that we're going to be able to give out. We bless people today. We'll have more food tomorrow. And so we'll be tired, but guess what? God will be glorified. Now, here's what I want you to pray. Would you pray with me? Would you pray that we just not give out toys? We call it a Christmas of hope. But that we might be able to extend God's hope, that people would come to know him, that we would build relationships to introduce people to a life of hope, not just a day of hope, but to a life of hope in otherwise dark circumstances through the person of Jesus Christ. Would you pray that with me? If you would you just type in, I'll pray. I'll pray. And if you'll pray from 2 to 4 during that time, you don't have to pray for the whole 2 hours, but during that time, as we will be serving the people, that God would allow us to meet their needs, and that we would be more than Christmas of hope, but we would introduce people to a life of hope through the person of Jesus Christ. And so if you're on the East Coast, 2, 3, 4, that's 5 to 7. If you're in Texas, that's 4 to 6. Alrighty, if you're on the West Coast here, it's 2 to 4. And if you know anyone in need in our area, please send them down. Give them my name. Let me know about them so we can expect them, and we'll work something out. Alrighty, God bless you again. Thank you so much. May God richly bless you, keep you, protect you as you fulfill His will in your lives. So I'll see you. Well, we'll send some clips tomorrow. We'll put some stuff on here as well. I'm going to post our flyer of this event, so if you know anybody, you can get that to them and share it. All right? Thank you. Like this page, share it. Check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Zion Temple. Have a great weekend. Bless you.